What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bench Podcast. My name is Joey. Joined as always by my brother, co-host Angel. How you doing, big dog?
Good. Broncos victory Sunday. It's a good day.
Broncos victory Sunday, as it's known here in the Bench studio.
Yeah, Broncos. It's a big deal.
Episode 167, the Bench Podcast for Monday, October 7th, 2024. It's going to be a very Broncos-type Monday because over at producer's desk, AJ and Gabe are unavailable. So, Terrell, thanks for stepping in, buddy.
What up? We're in the house. It is Throwback Sunday, Throwback to 77.
Hold that shirt up a little more for the ladies. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
For the people in the back.
Obviously, they being the Broncos, wore the throwbacks that Terrell's been talking about for literally months. Terrell, what's your take on how they looked on the field today?
They look sexy out on the field.
Yes,
I'm not going to lie. The creamsicle orange, the royal blue. It looked amazing. I mean, the way they did the setup and they designed it all 70s style. They brought back the legends for the Ring of Honor celebration. It was a homecoming weekend, so it was cool.
Wow, and they won. So great day in Denver.
Yeah, they were okay. If you try to get the Kelly Green Eagles out of the. Are they the best throwbacks in the NFL? They're really cool.
They're not the best. They're not really better than the Titans.
The powder blues
ones, yeah. And if the Chargers ever decide to bring back their baby blues, you guys are done for.
I don't know; those are pretty sick because the helmets are sick too.
I honestly would not put them above the Kelly Greens, but I think they're really nice. I take the Kelly Greens above them.
I don't know.
I take the Seahawks throwbacks above them. Those are.
You know who? They're not in the running. The Jaguars.
They're better than the Jags.
Had nice.
The Jags are nice. But
those were cool.
No, Denver ones are I think better than those.
I don't know. Terrell, they're top tier.
They're better.
They're better than the Kelly Green.
Yeah. What the ones I said? Which ones do you not agree with?
Oh well, Jacksonville's not. That's not in there.
No, for sure.
Yeah, those
Titans. Throw in the creamsicle Bucks.
Oh, those are sick. I forgot about those ones.
I really like the Dolphins whites from like the Dan Marino Dolphins.
Those are cool.
Ones. Those are cool. I like those.
Maybe there's just a lot of first places out there.
Yeah. Anyway,
not everyone can win.
Yeah.
Broncos won. That's most important. Victory Sunday. We should put a flag up or something.
No.
Put a banner across the sky.
No, we shouldn't. Full disclosure, we do have a new team today, and Terrell's running the thing over there. Not Terrell's fault one bit. We already did this segment of the show.
Yeah.
We actually just did it a couple of minutes ago.
It's the lost episode now.
And your boy didn't push record, so this is our you're going to get the good stuff because we already had a run-through.
We've been through it once, you know what I'm saying? Twice. And now we're cooking.
This is going to be the greatest 20 minutes of your life.
Yeah, just buckle up. It's about to get wild.
Today's episode, we're getting to the news, Monday's Benchies, and then Ball Don't Lie. If you're watching here on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Subscribe, turn on notifications. Thanks to everyone who has joined over the summer and recently into this season. Congrats, Terrell. You weren't on the show last time, so congrats to you as well. 750 subscribers.
Yep.
Good for you, my friend.
You are one of us.
Nice little golf clap. I like that.
Okay. Humble. No, it was humble.
And if you're listening to Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, thanks for joining the audio version of the Bench Podcast brought to you by the Fans First Sports Network. Subscribe and leave a review. And thanks for all the people who let us into their cars, into their
podcast, into
their gym routines,
into their work. I listen to podcasts at work. So
So if you don't want to work, just.
No, you can do both. You can do both.
Very true. Yeah. And then, of course, follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search at Bench Show for all those different platforms. Things got different things going up on different platforms. Angel took over Twitter this morning.
Fun times.
For the 10 o'clock slate of games.
Yeah. I was up early. I was juiced up because we were up for the early game.
Yeah.
I was like, let me talk to
somebody.
somebody.
Quick note about that. Did you notice I'll say it like this. How long did it take you to realize I did not want you talking to me this morning? Because you're pretty chipper. At 6:30 in the morning.
Football at 6:30. Yeah, I was very high. I woke up at 6 a.m. Immediately went to my phone, got the McDonald's app, ordered some nice breakfast coming through. Woke up. You're already out there ready, that's pretty impressive.
I was out there.
You were getting the vibes ready.
I hadn't had my coffee yet.
Just raw dog in the morning.
Yeah, so I was just sitting there, and you were trying to talk to me, and I just kept giving you one-word answers like, please stop talking to me.
Listen.
This is not the time or place.
And then next week, Jags, Bears, I will be up at 6 a.m. That's a good one, too.
I'm just going to watch it in my room.
Okay, well, I thought we had a nice moment.
Anyways, lastly, check out benchshow.com, home of the Bench Beat, articles on fandom, fantasy, and all things NFL. If you are on our email list, you received Greg's last article, 25 words or less, on each team at the quarterback Mark, see what you did there? Quarter way through the season.
Oh, Craig's smarter than me. I would not have done that.
Man, check that out. Good report. Great bathroom reading.
Yep.
Perfect length.
Quick and easy.
All right, it's Monday. Let's get into Monday's benchies. I think it's the way you say quick and easy.
Quick and easy. In the bathroom, baby.
Monday's benchies here. My benchie for Kickers Have Feelings 2 goes to Jake Moody, who attempted to make a tackle on special teams and sacrificed several ligaments in his ankle to do so, getting absolutely folded over by a bigger, stronger athlete. But you always love the kickers just throw themselves in there.
Yeah, man. He went out. He was what his right side. He's running up, and you know what he thought. He's like, I ain't no bitch, dog. I'm going right up to this guy.
We're going to watch this later in film. And
they're going to laugh at me, tell them not to do that.
Yeah, now they're going to laugh at you because you're walking in on crutches.
Yeah, crutches, and you're like, they draft you in like the 4th round last year.
You know what always reminds me? You remember those old school Chariot movies?
Mm-hmm.
Like Ben-Hur and stuff like that.
Like the Gladiator.
Whenever like the horses are like running full speed and something just is thrown at their legs.
Yeah.
And it's just ground up in their legs real quick.
Yeah.
That's what these kickers remind me of when they try to make a tackle.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I haven't seen a kicker knock somebody's ass out in a while.
Obviously, the best one was Antonio Brown when he kicked that fool in the chest that one time. Bah! The best. What you got?
My first benchie is the Shut the Fuck Up Coach Award benchie. It goes to Coach Sean Payton after Bo Nix let him have it. Listen, I haven't wanted to do that for 2 years now. Bo Nix just said, Shut up. I don't know what he said.
Yeah. Listen, I said it the first recording. I'll say it again. That was sexy as hell.
Yeah.
When he was just
screaming at Sean Payton
the business. I feel like I lived through him there.
Also, last year we saw the opposite. Sean Payton just ripping Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Now we see the quarterback ripping Sean Payton. And then in that game, had a great game.
Also, let's not bury the lead. Playing pretty well after he did that.
Yeah.
The rumor on that altercation is that Bo Nix was mad that the plays were coming in too long. They were taking too long to get the plays into his headset. That's why he was mad.
Hurry up, coach.
Yeah.
God, old man.
You old man.
The future is now, old man.
What you got, Terrell?
My benchie is, you like that? Kirk Cousins balling out on Thursday night primetime. Look, Kirk Cousins always gets a lot of heat for not performing on primetime. 509 passing yards, 72% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown in overtime. He set the record for Falcons' single-game passing yard record. It was previously held by Matt Ryan. He was in attendance, honored that game. He broke it right in front of his face.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. That was not a great way for you to celebrate that prestigious honor for being in the Falcons Hall of Fame. Although, when you're walking on the field, all anyone could think was 28-13. But moving on, with Kirk Cousins, maybe the most impressive thing he did that night was give all those Kyle Pitts fantasy owners an actual start for Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, this is what it's like. Hey, Kyle, nice to see you here. He's tight end 4 in PPR. Yeah. Kyle Pitts.
I believe it.
That's crazy.
It's a weird tight end year. Okay, my award for That's a Bad White Boy goes to TJ Watt for recording his 100th career sack. This absolute maniac is Hall of Famer already, and the NFL has yet to give him a Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah.
So
we'll see if his luck changes.
What's going on there?
I don't know. Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, right? Yeah. A couple guys, good players, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Parsons also very good.
Leave him alone. He's hurt.
Yeah. No, I believe it. I won't touch that. What you got?
Yeah, my next benchie is the Revenge is Sweet benchie goes to Sam Darnold and Stefon Diggs. Ooh. Both playing their former teams. Stefon Diggs played the Bills today, and they won. The Texans won. And then Darnold up 17-0 on the Jets pretty fast. They won at the end, but yeah, both guys got revenge and both played well.
Yeah, good for Sammy. He didn't play that well, but
yeah,
it has to feel good just coming out with the dub. And also, you're the best team in the NFL. You're 5-0.
And that's like against the team against the Jets. He was mocked out of town.
Absolutely.
As most Jets quarterbacks are.
Terrell, what you got?
I got the benchie for One Thing's for Surtain. Pat Surtain balling out again, 2 interceptions. PS 2 times is what I call him now. Pick 6 for a 100-yard interception return. He interesting stat going into that game. He'd only given up 7 receptions and no touchdowns to the receivers that he went up against. DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, George Pickens. No touchdowns, 7 receptions. He's the best cornerback in the league.
Terrell just did that from memory, that list, which means you have been studying a lot of Patrick Surtain last couple weeks.
It's watch a Bronco game. He's the best player on the field by a wide margin. And then you kind of survey across the league, and you're like, no one's doing what Surtain's doing.
Either of you guys have a Surtain jersey yet?
No, it's hard to buy Bronco jerseys because you don't know.
I think it's time to buy Surtain.
Surtain.
They signed him. He's the best in the league right now.
And then he did this too while Champ Bailey was there. Former Bronco.
Yep.
In the house.
Swap.
Yeah,
They did a jersey swap today. Yeah.
With Champ?
Yeah, you did a jersey swap with Champ today. So
passing the mantle on.
Champ was my favorite. He's my favorite Bronco of all time. So
Yeah.
24.
I'm already in love with Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I say every time you bring up Champ Bailey?
Yeah, it's when he got he tripped and something to buy Terrell Owens, another top 3 wideout of all time.
Yeah,
when you
trip on talent, it's called getting juked.
That's Champ Bailey versus
he got juked
by
like
Terrell
crazy.
by Terrell Owens. I'll take that.
Yeah, Terrell's
A lot of players got tripped up by Terrell Owens.
That's our Mondays benchies and with a Denver Bronco flavor because I am outnumbered today. But that's fine. Victory Broncos Monday.
It's Victory Sunday. Broncos Victory Sunday. We'll trademark it later.
Okay. That's so good, H.
We're gonna hashtag it.
It's
We'll find something.
just stop.
We'll get it going.
Just stop.
No.
Let's get to the news.
This segment is brought to you by UltimateAutographs.com. Have you ever wanted to own your very own piece of signed memorabilia? For most, the dream of collecting NFL memorabilia seems distant because of high cost. But UltimateAutographs.com has created an easy way to start collecting: live breaks. Live breaks are events where a host opens up boxes of memorabilia live and gives you a shot to win authentic sports memorabilia for a fraction of the cost. Here's how it works. First, dive into the action by buying a spot. If you use our code BENCHME15, that's BENCHME15, you'll receive 15% off your first live break entry. Then, just pick what type of memorabilia you'll want to win and secure it with a simple payment. Now you're in the game. Next, get ready for the main event. Watch the excitement unfold live. Be part of the anticipation as we prepare to reveal what's hidden in each box. Finally, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. If the piece we unveil matches your spot, victory. That piece of history is now yours to keep. So, are you ready to join the excitement? Secure your spot, tune in live, and let the fun begin. Don't forget, use our code BENCHME15, that's BENCHME15, to receive 15% off your first live break entry, and good luck.
All right, the news is brought to you by UltimateAutographs.com. You just saw or heard about their live break system of giving away gear for a fraction of the cost. Go check them out. Win a signed helmet, signed jersey.
Something.
A lot of cool stuff. I like their like alternate style helmets that they give away. They're pretty like
Yeah.
Their signed stuff.
If I was a Bengals fan, I'd be going for the all white helmet.
Yeah.
The Bengals. That's
They have like every
another good uniform, but it's not
version you can
throwback.
think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get to the news here. This is from Jordan Schultz, and there's a lot of victory lapping on the rookie quarterbacks today because they're balling out.
Yep.
But the one that's getting the most attention is in Washington. Since 1970, no team with a rookie quarterback has scored 150 or more points in the first 5 games until the Washington Commanders just did it. Also, no player in NFL history has had 1,000 passing yards, 250 rushing yards in their first 5 games until Jayden Daniels did it this year in the first 5 games. Jayden Daniels taking the league by storm. Impressive in every way, but maybe the greatest one is that he's turning around an organization that has been bad for a very long time and making it look kind of easy. He's 4-1.
You know what's crazy? It feels like Stroud was just a primer for the Jayden Daniels. Like here's what a good rookie quarterback is.
Yeah.
Now here's what a great one. I'm not taking anything away from CJ Stroud, but he's Jayden Daniels doing things that no one's ever done before.
It's going to be interesting to compare their 2 rookie years because so far Jayden Daniels is starting much more hot than
for sure.
CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud was kind of eased in a little bit as far as having to throw for a lot of touchdowns, stuff like that. He kind of took it easy. He was very careful with the ball. Jayden Daniels is putting on his back. He really just has Terry McLaurin and then Diami Brown and a couple of just mid-receivers.
Zach Ertz at 36 or whatever, 37?
Yeah, Brian Robinson and a very old Austin Eckler. So, yeah, he doesn't have much. And he's dragging around one of the worst defenses in the league. So, Jayden Daniels is just in every way impressive. If only there was someone on our team who would call this maybe pre-draft, maybe call him the next RG3, I don't know if you know anyone like that. Terrell, you know anyone like that?
Let me think. Oh, yeah, that was me. I said that. I called it before the season started.
You did.
Look, I said this team was going to make the playoffs before the season started. So this
doesn't sound so dumb now, does it?
Exactly. I mean,
sounds pretty good.
Look, it reminds me. I always said RG3 2.0. Look, Andrew Luck got all the shine going into the draft. And same with Caleb Williams. But Jayden Daniels is the guy. Hopefully he doesn't have the same fate with injuries. But I mean, the Commanders, they got their future star.
Here's what we got to do, guys. And we're going to do this next year and from forever on.
Oh, damn. Wow.
We are no longer going to go with the experts' opinions on quarterbacks because they're never right. They're literally never right.
Well,
I'm watching Trevor Lawrence look like an absolute fool.
He played decent today. But, yeah, I'm not going to back Trevor Lawrence.
Stop. He's terrible.
I'm not backing Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, Caleb Williams started slower, obviously. Like, I don't know what, in the evaluation process, looking at Jayden Daniels and looking at Caleb Williams, I don't know how they say, yeah, that guy's a project. Maybe he'll turn into something. Jayden Daniels, yeah, I know he won the Heisman. I know he has every tool you could possibly think of. He has a cannon of an arm.
Yep.
He's accurate. He's poised in the pocket. He's the best running back of the rookie running backs. And yet he's not a generational prospect. Caleb Williams is. I just don't understand what the process is at this point to name one that and the other. I just think it's a bunch of bullshit, all of it. And I'm done listening to Kuiper and all those. I'm done. On quarterbacks, I'm done.
I think we've, as NFL fans, have romanticized the draft so much that narrative is just completely over. Like, if you believe in Jayden Daniels, it's because, he came from this story, he came from this, and you buy into the story, not the stats.
Yeah.
So if you were to compare Jayden Daniels' college, like his last year of college, to Caleb Williams, not even close. But Caleb Williams had the hype, he had the storyline, he had the, he paints his nails, whatever. And that kind of propelled him into number one. That's the same with, like, Baker Mayfield.
Wild.
That propelled him into first overall. When everyone knew that he shouldn't be. He's just, narrative was taken over, and now the narrative looks stupid because Jayden Daniels is really, really good.
Yeah, second year in a row that the number 2 overall quarterback is taking the shine away.
So it's good luck.
Number 1 overall, although Caleb Williams no slouch. We'll talk about him a little later.
Yeah.
Let's move on here. 49ers running back Christian McCaffery will not return for Thursday's game against Seattle, divisional showdown there, even though he's eligible to come off of the injured reserve. But there's supposed to be some signs of encouragement for CMC. Schefter also reporting CMC's return depends on how he fares in practice. But for now, there's some mild encouragement because his calf and Achilles issues did not flare up after on-field work this past week. His first on-field work since being placed on IR. So, good news.
Yeah.
He's practicing. He didn't aggravate anything.
Which is, yeah.
And he, what Schefter just said. Bad news is this is how it's going to be for the Niners the rest of the year.
Sounds like a time bomb to me.
Christian, how are you feeling this morning?
Christian?
Like,
whenever you see a call from Christian, like if you're Kyle Shanahan, you see a call from Christian McCaffrey, like, oh my God, here it is. It's like you're like expecting the baby, and you're just waiting for the time.
Yeah.
And this is what it feels like.
I'll tell you what, the Niners, at the trade deadline, they have some cap space. They need to go all in on this year.
Get somebody
this
else.
might be the last year you have Christian McCaffrey.
And Debo and Kittle.
At this version of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Like, I think you need to go all in. You need to win a championship this year. You have to.
Yeah. I mean, today was evidence that they didn't have a closer, and they lost to the Cardinals because they couldn't close. Yeah, and Christian McCaffrey, when he's healthy, there's no one. Last year, he's the MVP. There's probably no one in the league better, offensive defense. He's the best football player when he's healthy.
Terrell, any shot of Super Bowl without CMC?
It's going to be difficult. The NFC is looking pretty strong this year. It'll be tough, but fortunately for them, that division is pretty banged up and struggling right now.
Right.
So they're not too far out of it. The Rams are pretty banged up. Seattle, they're pretty inconsistent right now. So it's not the division's still very much up for grabs.
Right.
And then I mean we'll see. I think they'll have a shot. They made it to the NFC Championship game without him 2 seasons ago. So they don't need him to make it that far, but he definitely helps.
Here, the Packers have suspended wide receiver Romeo Doubs for missing 2 practices this week.
Bad boy.
Against their game that they played against the Rams today. They lost that. They won that.
They won.
They won that game, which is not another bad thing for Dobbs.
Yeah.
We won't tell you. But after a frustrating week, there's expectation that things have moved in a positive direction, and he will rejoin the team. Now, the Packers aren't afraid to suspend a full.
No.
They suspended Jair Alexander last year when he hilariously put himself in the coin flip because it was his hometown. And he's like, Coach understands.
Like, guys were behind me. No, they weren't. No one knew you were out there.
Guys are with me. Anyway, but Romeo Doubs gets suspended. Hopefully, it is like Jair Alexander in the sense of him coming back, no hard feelings, just jump right into it. Let's get this thing rolling. But our thoughts were, Romeo, I don't know if you're the guy to do this.
I don't even think Jayden Reed, your best wideout, could do this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he could do this yet. Like, you could do this is like you're like Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson. Like, okay, let's take it seriously because you're one of the best. But
let's explain that because I forgot to say why he's acting like this way. A report came out that he's upset with his role on the team, with his production, with his involvement in the offense, all these different things. Even though I think he's either ran the most routes or been on the field the most of any of the wide receivers.
He wants more.
They're just not throwing to him.
He wants more, Joey. What's the quarterback?
So I think he's the legit number 2 on this team so far, especially with Watson being down.
Yeah, and then
Wicks was a big fat 0 today.
Laid an egg. Yeah. I think if you were to rank him, he'd be
It's just
number
a
2.
weird thing to be upset about in your position.
Yeah, it's like a random wideout. Like, I don't like not being targeted. Well, you're a random wideout. That's why you're not targeted that much. Not
Right.
that he's random. I'm sure Packer fans are screaming right now, like, "Oh, he's better than." Yeah, but he's not like a top tier wideout yet.
Yeah. Who's the no?
What? No, I gotta ask it now.
Who's of the entire bench team? Who's the Romeo Doubs of the team?
What does that mean? I'm not single field to nobody.
The guy who can certainly come over and take over the game if he wants to, but you're in no position to hold out.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're not gonna say that on air. Tell you what, better not be looking at this guy.
Let's move on here.
The damn life of the party.
Terrell, who's that guy?
Yeah, it's Coach JB. Coach JB's the guy. He's the one.
JB's going off right now.
For sure.
If you follow him on social media,
Yeah, JB's on.
he's on a heater.
Pray for JB.
He needs the Lord.
The Chiefs are awaiting clarity on Rashee Rice's knee injury on Monday. In the interim, they are eyeing trades for other wide receivers. So, huge tweet here by Adam Schefter. Let's do it one at a time here. First is Rashee Rice's knee. We heard they're going to take a scope and look around and get eyes on the ligament. They want to see.
We want 4 doctors in there
Yeah.
just looking at his knee.
Listen, we're totally screwed if we don't have this guy. So unless you could see the ACL hanging there,
You know what, Andy? Come over here.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
and he's going to be like, let me see.
Let me see. How's it look? Looks pretty good.
From what and this is going to be a crude explanation of how a doctor much more eloquently said it on this Twitter page. But anyway, he was saying they're going to get eyes on the ligaments. If there's any damage to the ACL, he's most likely done for the season. I think the other ligament is like the PCL. If that's disconnected, then he's done as well. But if it's not those two things and it's just slight tears or whatever of the cartilage or the MCL, stuff like that, then he has a possibility of coming back for a very likely playoff run with the Chiefs.
Jets.
So I mean, there's hope.
Chiefs are just praying to every spirit god or god that they follow it. Please let it just be minimum.
Second half of this tweet is that they're eyeing trades for other wide receivers. Now, we know we're not to get our hopes up because they're about to go trade for,
somebody.
Darius Slayton, some mid receiver who's not going to make a single.
He'd be better than what they have now.
No, he's not.
If you put Darius Slayton on the Chiefs wideout room right now, he's the best one besides Rashee
You
Rice.
do this. You romanticize random players.
No, listen.
Remember you did this with Donovan Peoples-Jones?
He's good.
He's the best guy in the Lions now.
No one ever
He's
gave him
wide receiver 1 now.
No one ever gave him a shot. Go sign him.
Okay, but we're not talking about those receivers because no one wants to hear about that. People want to hear about what's the sexy name that can come to the Chiefs. I'll go first. Tyreek Hill. Bring the boy back home. He still has it. He is obviously very unhappy in Miami.
I don't think anyone's happy down there.
Yeah, it has to be the most miserable locker room. They're like just losing guys for the season. Tua doesn't know what day it is.
You know what? I haven't seen McDaniel smile.
Yeah.
Because normally he's all, how he's kind of like
Yeah.
kind of a goofy guy. He's been just dead serious.
Yeah, so maybe get Tyreek out of there, get him back in Casey. That's what I think. What do you got?
I'm never going to call him like a sexy player, but Amari Cooper. It's like responsible.
Consistency is sexy.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I guess. In certain circles. Consistency. I want the toxic one. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Treylon Burks. Give me Treylon Burks. He's toxic as hell. It shows you a little bit in the
So you brought up Treylon Burks the first time we recorded this freaking episode. But in the sense of he could maybe fill a Rashee Rice role.
Yeah, he has like the same like play style, like a bigger slot wideout.
Yeah.
Who's good after catch. And obviously in Tennessee, they've never been able to.
I don't know why. I don't know why they hate him. I feel like anytime he's actually getting run and targets, he's producing. But yeah, I'd be very interested to see Chandler.
And I wouldn't think that'd cost you a lot. Maybe a 6th round or 7th round swap. And I don't think it costs it because the Titans suck. So they probably are looking to get out of trying to get anything back for him. That's a nice pick.
Terrell.
Treylon.
Bro, you look like a Treylon.
Yeah, people call me everything. all the time.
That's so racist.
I'm so sorry for calling you Treylon.
Yeah.
Terrell, what's your pick for the wide receiver to KC?
So the Tyreek Hill is
Travarius.
Dude, stop.
there's someone on the kickball team called me Tariq. Every week.
Saw you earlier. That's
I won't call her.
That has to be a Tyreek.
She's awesome. She's cool. Speaking of Tyreek, the Tyreek Hill is coming back to Kansas City is interesting, considering he went out and he was like showing off, Tua, like, his brand new girlfriend, like, I like him better than Mahomes. He's consistent. He throws a pretty ball.
He buys me flowers.
Yeah, all this stuff. And now to come back with
he's good at, you know what I'm saying?
It's Miami, so he takes me to Diddy parties.
Yeah, dude. It's all
we stay after midnight.
They say late enough to where everyone leaves. Yeah. Like a certain people group.
J-Lo's there.
I'm sure.
We just stop. Terrell, go ahead, finish your point.
I put the names and names.
But my wild card pick here, sexy / wild card pick, is T Higgins. T Higgins to the Chiefs.
Man,
that would be my sexy pick. Also, we'll talk about it later. But T Higgins is my pick.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Bengals handle this roster because they have some expiring contracts that are massive pieces where it would be much better for your organization to get something for that player than not. I'm talking to you, T Higgins, and possibly Trey Hendrickson as well.
God,
Trey Hendrickson could really help a team.
A lot of teams, every team.
Yeah, but T Higgins, I think. If they keep losing, what are they 1-3, 1-4?
They're 1-4, and they're playing the Giants.
You got to.
They're in last place in the AFC.
You got to move some people. I know that they are incredibly stubborn, even to their own detriment. But you have to move T Higgins and Hendrickson if you're not going to pay him, and Chase if you're not going to pay him. And you can't lose these guys.
You can get a 1st round pick easily.
Oh God, you get 2 for T Higgins.
Yeah, today what he showed against Baltimore.
Yeah,
phenomenal. Like, he still has it. When he's on, this is what it looks like. This is why everyone freaks out. This is why we were all mad that he wasn't getting signed because this is what happens when he's healthy. He's perfectly healthy now. He's balling out. I just don't know if the Bengals will ever trade.
Fun, man.
The Bengals need to swallow some pride and be like, we're gonna trade you to our rival, a team that we can't ever seem to get beat. When they have good record, but you know what I mean. The Chiefs have been running the AFC for the last 5-6 years.
Well, in our first version of this episode that we recorded,
1.0,
that is just floating out there for
in the ether,
the aliens to enjoy.
Yeah, what's up, aliens?
Terrell brought up a pretty interesting chess move. Trade them Davante Adams, 31-year-old receiver, probably just has a couple of good years left. Take away some of their young assets, some draft picks, maybe I don't know, receiver they could send back. I don't know.
They don't want Sky Moore. They don't want nobody on that team.
And maybe so when the Raiders are good again, which we're still holding out hope that in a couple years
since 2001, I think.
Yep. The Chiefs are maybe a little weakened.
Yeah.
Any
from the inside.
The more I try to explain that,
this is the long con.
The more I try to explain that plan, the more I'm like this. That's
and you know what's gonna happen once that does? There's a trade for another wideout.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Or they're gonna draft an incredible wideout in the 4th.
Yeah. Like Or Rashee Rice at that point will be a mature adult, not running over people. Yeah.
Speaking of Davante Adams, Adam Schefter reporting trade talks involving Davante Adams are expected to intensify this week as the Las Vegas Raiders star's hamstring heals.
His ego heals, I mean.
Yeah. And as more teams weigh if they're willing to offer the Pro Bowl wide receiver a massive deal for him.
I heard the price is a 2nd round pick for Davante Adams.
In a second.
If
you're an actual contender, in a second.
I don't know why that's such a big thing for teams. Like a 2nd round pick for a guy who's immediately your alpha. You know how much that changes your entire offense or the way defenses play you?
Yeah. Well, I know we're going to talk about it later, but I know the Jets could definitely use him.
Definitely.
That is like number 1 for me.
1, 2,
because they have obvious continuity issues.
Yeah.
On offense, Like, very obvious.
It's blatantly obvious today during the game, obviously, and then throughout the season, you've seen them be on the same page.
Yeah, so I could see him going there. The other two teams that are rumored to be going at him pretty heavy are the Saints and the Steelers. Which one of those places you want to see him go?
It'd be cool if he would go to the Steelers, but the passing offense is so low. They run the ball so much.
Right.
And the Saints is fun because Derek Carr, but it's fun for him personally. But for us fans, like the Saints are boring. Him going to Saints is boring. Saints are never on primetime ever, so you would never see him.
And like we have zero faith that Derek Carr will maximize having Davante Adams and
Because
Chris
we've
Olave.
seen it before.
He can't even maximize Chris Olave. Like,
How you expect to have two guys now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Another team that was brought up, I think Terrell brought him up, was the Buffalo Bills. That'd be interesting. Although it feels like they just got out of that style of roster construction. Like, hey, we just got rid of the star receiver.
Yeah.
We're just fine with our band of merry men.
Yeah.
Like-
are they though?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But yeah, so we'll keep it on Davante Adams. It's going to be a fun week or a couple weeks. I think it's moved this week, but if not, all these receivers' names just flirting around. It's going to be fun.
Wide receivers have taken such a page out of the NBA. Like, if I like somewhere, I'm fucking out of here, dude.
I'm just going to stop answering my phone.
Yeah, Davante Adams going on K. Adams, like, I haven't heard anything.
Crazy.
You can talk to them. It's okay. But no, the NBA has influenced NFL for sure, 100%.
All right, take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into our Monday segment, Ball Don't Lie. Be right back. This segment is brought to you by Dad Gang Hats. Dad Gang makes the highest quality hats in the apparel industry because they use premium materials, pay close attention to detail, and prioritize durability and comfort. With so many styles, colors, and designs, they absolutely have the right hat for you and the dad in your life. Use code BENCHED76826. That's BENCHD 76826 for 15% off your first purchase. Shop Dad Gang Hats. Quality hats for quality dads. All right, Monday segment, Ball Don't Lie. Before we jump into a handful of these, I wanted to get real quick. We are, of course, recording late Sunday night. The game was delayed due to inclement weather, and it's still going. Terrell, update us on Steelers-Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys are in the lead 13-10 with about just under 7 minutes to go, and it is officially it's Monday in Pittsburgh. So
And it looks like, I'm watching right here, it looks like that those stands are full.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh just doesn't fucking care.
No.
They love them some Pittsburgh
Yeah,
football.
they're still hitting the bar after.
Yeah, they're still getting wicked hammered.
Dak Prescott, 304 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So, he's a decent game. Checking out Justin Fields here. 12 for 23, 111, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Also, 6 carries, 27 yards. I mean, it is kind of surprising to me how low scored it is. Is that surprising to you guys?
I thought the Pittsburgh offense would look a little better, but I guess not. As Pickens goes down the field. But yeah, Davante Adams is probably looking at this thinking like, fuck that, I'm not going there.
The team that scored 11 points.
They scored 10 points. Why the hell would I go there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll check in on them. Terrell will just keep us updated how that's going. Let's get into Ball Don't Lie. You want to start?
Sure.
Good.
Yeah. Ball Don't Lie, the Jets / Aaron Rodgers need Davante Adams. Okay, so today in the fourth quarter, they were down 23-17, and they needed to score. So basically, you needed your best play with your best player. And this was after Garrett Wilson had been targeted 22 times with 13 catches.
Say it again.
Okay.
See how many targets he had again.
He had 22 targets, Garrett Wilson, for 13 catches, 100 yards, and 1 touchdown.
What are we doing?
Well, I don't know what we're doing. And even that, at that point, because if you were watching Jets games, you realize it's kind of like a slog offense. Like, they kind of like 2 steps back, 1 step forward. They don't ever look smooth. And I think that's
no
because,
rhythm to it.
Because they don't have a sure thing. They thought the running game would be the sure thing, and then today they just abandoned it. Because Aaron Rodgers threw the ball, 54 times today.
God.
Right? So they abandoned that to lead to an offense where Garrett Wilson, great targets, and obviously a good game, but Lazard, 10 targets, 4 catches. He must have dropped 5 balls, right? Lazard wasn't
The guy
good.
cannot catch. Did you watch that game any chance this morning?
I did not.
He was just dropping it. Like, if Alan Lazard catches the ball today, not only do they win, like Aaron Rodgers probably has a huge day.
Yeah.
Like it was so bad.
It was bad. It was bad, and you realize that at the end when they were throwing it right side, it was like a go route, but Rodgers always uses those go routes as back shoulder fades.
Right.
Mike Williams, it was to him. He didn't know that because there's no continuity. I'm not sure if they're practicing. I don't know why 5 weeks of football they have no continuity. It was a back shoulder fade. He threw it a little bit inside, pick 6. Rodgers ended up having 3 picks, which has never happened to Aaron Rodgers ever. It's just you and Davante Adams sitting there, and you've seen this before. Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. That's one of those classic duos like Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison Jr. You need that in this. You need a sure thing when it's third down. Because on third down today, they were only 3 for 14 they weren't good on third down. It wasn't like they didn't have that punch that they had like the jab, but not like a hook or like an uppercut. Yeah, and they needed that.
They were bad on third down. They were bad in the red zone. The 3 turnovers period for Aaron Rodgers is just so uncharacteristic. He said as much in the post-game conference. Like that's new for me. That's never happened. So that's really bad. Yeah. He's frustrated for that for sure. Terrell?
The Jets suck. I mean,
oh my God.
Look, I said this before the season, right? We were all saying the Bills aren't going to win this division. The Jets are coming back.
We said the Bills were going to win. We said the Jets would be good too, though. But we all called the Bills winning. That was true. Look at the video.
We can go back. We can go back and look at the tape. We did say 2 weeks ago that Aaron Rodgers is back, and I said, hold on, let's pump the brakes. Let's see how he does against good defenses. He got wrecked by Denver's defense last year. Again, three interceptions against the Vikings defense. He still has the Steelers defense that he gets to go up against in 2 weeks. He's not back. He hasn't been good since 2021. The Jets aren't a good. They're a mess. They're a mess of an organization. They needed to draft at offensive. They needed to draft at offensive line. They needed to bolster that up in the offseason. They went old. They got Fashanu, who they don't really play that much. So I mean, look, the Jets aren't good. They haven't been good in a while. What are we surprised about?
Well, I'm surprised that you said that shit because that's not true at all.
Come on.
The Jets are good, man. You're crazy. They're not hitting right now, and there's so much freaking talent. But I'll say this: I don't defend the guy, but I'm usually not the one to pile on him. Nate Hackett. The offensive play calling has been awful,
bad.
That's why they suck.
Breece Hall 9 carries today. Bear Allen 5 carries. Unexplainable against 54 passes for Aaron Rodgers in a game that was close for the majority of it.
I think there was one point where they threw the ball 18 times.
That's like too
in
much.
A row.
Maybe that's Rodgers as well. Like I don't want to let Rodgers off the hook there either. He obviously has major influence over the offensive game plan. Yeah. But that's too much. And then as far as the continuity with the receivers and how much I think is just being left on the bone when it comes to this offense, Alan Lazard just catch the ball. Garrett Wilson is not, and people are going to be mad I say this.
They already hate us last time.
Garrett Wilson is not a true number 1 receiver on a Super Bowl team right now. He's young. He's small. He gets frustrated with tight coverage. I think he had a hard time getting open today against that secondary. He's not always on the same wavelength as Aaron Rodgers. They're not thinking the same. They're not seeing the defense the same. They're not making these calls together, as you will see with Davante Adams. That was their power, is that it's almost like they were had secret microphones talking to each other.
Yeah.
But listen, Terrell, to your point, they're too talented for you to say that.
But what talent? I mean, you already said their number 1 receiver is not a true number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
So,
but that's not saying he's not talented.
Put Sam Darnold on that roster and put Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings. Is that Jets team a threat?
You put Sam Darnold on this roster, and they might not have won a game yet.
Okay, so we
saw that.
Okay, so that's my whole point. Is we're in love with the allure that it's Aaron Rodgers. So now all of a sudden they're really good. But if you put Sam Darnold, who's leading the league in touchdown passes, on that team, they might not win a game. So they don't have that much talent on the offense. Their defense is rock solid. Their defense is nasty. That's the only reason why they're relevant. But they got destroyed by the Niners. They couldn't even get a touchdown against Denver. And he threw 3 interceptions against the Vikings. His 2 wins are against the Titans and the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm not ready to stick a fork in Aaron Rodgers and the team. There's too much talent. And I know you said, where's the talent? They went 500 last year with Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle, whoever else the hell they had.
Garrett Wilson is playing better with Zach Wilson than he is Aaron Rodgers.
That's not true. That's not true.
He's playing better.
I guarantee Garrett Wilson never had a 13 catch game or a 13 catch game for 101 yards and a touchdown with.
Probably not. The 22 targets are not realistic and not a real offense, especially if you're only catching just over half of them.
Yeah, and the next guy with catches was actually Lazard with 4. Mike Williams was disappointed.
But I mean, Breece Hall has been. We need to talk about Breece Hall. He's been bad for a couple weeks now.
Yeah,
and I think the offense has struggled because if they can't get those two guys going, Breece Hall and Braden Allen, it puts so much pressure on Aaron Rodgers and this receiving core who just they're not clicking for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He's not going to get going with Nathaniel Hackett calling the play.
Yeah, maybe it is Hackett. Maybe it is Hackett.
Yeah, fucking
He's
Hackett.
not. It's this Aaron Rodgers offense. He's running the show, and he's not going to give him the ball.
What's that thing from Prison Break where the guy holds his pocket? That's Hackett. Hackett holds the pocket of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, I don't know. Maybe it is Hackett. Just something about this offense, just like this.
But that's why
you watch him have a drive, and it's like this doesn't even make sense what you're doing.
Yeah, that's why I said they need a sure thing, which is the Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers connection. Even if it's not as what it used to be, it's still a sure thing. You can still go in and like.
Well, even right now though, like that sure thing, the most sure thing they have is these running backs. Hand the ball off.
And Garrett Wilson had a good game, but like if you're a fan, think like that's sustainable. Like they've missed passes. I haven't really seen him. I know. What happened today was he just over-targeted the hell out of him because they needed to get the ball out quick, and Garrett Wilson's was just open in short routes. But they need Davante Adams more than they even.
Yeah, that was your ball don't lie, and I'm 100% with that. Terrell had just an impromptu ball don't lie there.
Yeah, ball don't lie, Jets fucking
suck. I guess we'll see. I mean, I guess the record is definitely favoring Terrell more than me right now, but I'm not gonna put a fork in this team. There's talent all over the field. They just got to figure it out. And maybe they never do, but I think just because of the talent, like this isn't the Panthers.
Yeah, they're talented.
Like there's way too much there.
Like you're thinking like they're like the Cowboys who have like 2 good weapons and then that's it.
Yeah.
The Jets have like legitimately first round talent and they're good
But we're sticking a fork in the Bengals at 1-4, and their offense looks good. Like their offense looked good last week. Their offense looked good this week too as well. And we're sticking a fork in them at 1-4. The Jets have not. They're averaging 13 points a game over the last 2 games. So how are we not done with the Jets?
I think because the Bengals have a different expectation. The Bengals are supposed to be ready right now. They're supposed to be Super Bowl contenders right now. They've been together for a couple of years. They've had the same coaching staff, the same offense, it's obviously the same quarterback. They have their weapons that are healthy now. They have pretty much the same defense, same defensive coordinator. It's kind of a ready-made thing that we all were comfortable with calling the Bengals good just because we've seen them for so many years. I think the Jets, we've never seen it. I think there's still room to grow. This is Aaron Rodgers' 6th start with the team. Like you got to imagine like that probably needs a little more cooking. I think there's way more reasons to wait than just you're done.
Yeah, I did not see that coming, Terrell.
Wow, Terrell hates
strong opinions over there. He hates Aaron Rodgers.
All right, guys. Ball don't lie. The Vikings are 5-0 and haven't played their best football yet. The Vikings are so freaking good, and the reason I'm right here struggling to defend that the Jets are still good is because the Vikings absolutely they spanked them and it didn't even use all their weapons. Sam Darnold didn't even play that well today. 179, no touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked 4 times, lost 32 yards. Just kind of managed the game. He was okay. They beat the Jets 32-17 in London. And I think there's still so much meat on the bone for this team.
Yeah, what they remind me of is that one Eagles team that will just get up big. Because what's happening now, this happened twice this year, is that the Vikings get off to a hot start, then they don't know what to do with themselves because they're up so big.
Right.
So these games seem closer, but they're not, like against the Packers, it seemed closer, but they're not really that close.
They're just good at so many things. But number one, honestly, even with Sam Darnold, won the season, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 103 passer rating, he's been very, very good. This defense is the identity of this team. It's the strongest thing about this team. It's the most consistent things about this team. And we need to apologize to Brian Flores because we're all kind of writing him off.
Well, he's kind of a dick.
He's kind of a jerk, but he's leading maybe the best single unit in the entire NFL right now, and that's the Vikings defense.
Yeah, today we saw, I think we were watching it, and it was like where they had 9 guys line up on the line because they do a lot. And it fooled Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Andrew Van Ginkel fooled Aaron Rodgers. That defense did. Pick 6. That defense is phenomenal, and it's like a no-name defense because I don't really think they'll have one All-Pro on that defense.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Harrison Smith because he's the only guy who would be recognizable.
They lead the league in sacks. They're good in coverage. They snuck Stephon Gilmore in there right at the end of the offseason.
Yeah.
He's been awesome.
I think they have Brian Murphy. They have Pace. They have
Brian Flores just
Granard.
knows how to pull the strings of the personnel he does have, and they've been so good. But this offense, I think, is just going to get better. Addison just got back.
Yeah.
He's, I think, affected the field and just opened it up for Jefferson. Hawkinson that started practicing, he's going to be back soon.
Aaron Jones had a little injury, but I think they'll be fine by postseason. Like, it's not a big injury. Like, he was still in pads.
Yeah, bummer about that is that they play the Lions next week, and I would love to see Aaron Jones healthy.
Yeah.
When they play the Lions, but I think they're still going to be. I think there's still some meat on the bone there, which is awesome for Minnesota fans because they're 5-0, leading the NFC North. Closest team is Detroit at 3-1 right now. Detroit have they played yet?
No.
They're on a bye.
No.
They're on a bye.
Oh yeah,
They're on a bye.
bye week.
So that game next week, very, very important.
Yeah.
Next 5 games, Lions, Rams, who are very injured, Colts, who are just very injured, Jaguars, who have Trevor Lawrence and he sucks, and Titans, who maybe are still starting Will Levis at that point.
Yep.
So there's a good chance here, if they could beat the Lions, that there's an easy road to 10-0.
Oh yeah. Terrell, do you hate this team too?
I don't hate this team. No, I don't hate this team. I like the Vikings, but
Here we go.
Oh my God, 5-0. Go find a blemish.
Look, I feel like we've seen this movie before.
Here we go.
We saw them 2 seasons ago. They started out 8-2. They were strong with Kirk Cousins, and they lost to the Giants in the playoffs. They sputtered out towards the end of that season too. I'm looking at Sam Darnold. He sputtered out in the second half against Green Bay last week, and he had a good game this week, but he didn't have a wow game this week. And I feel like teams are starting to catch up a little bit to Sam Darnold. He may be coming a little bit more back down to earth. So I think this team, based on their next 5 games, they could be in the same boat again. They could be 9-1, 8-2, 10-0 coming out of these first 10 games. Yeah. But I don't know. I got to. I'm a little. Sam Darnold's making me a little bit nervous. But this team is a playoff team. They're a strong team. They're going to make the playoffs. But are they going to make a deep run in the playoffs? I don't know.
So to be fair, that's a totally different roster when they had that Kirk Cousins 8-2 team, because now they're completely turned over offensively. Defensively, they're different too, completely different. Yeah, by the end of the show, I will find a team that you like, and I will just rejoice together that we find a team that we both like.
I mean, the offense is a little bit different. You still have Justin Jefferson there. You had Dalvin Cook there before. So, I mean, Dalvin Cook was a better weapon at the running back position. So, I mean, and I think Rudolph still was on the roster. So it's a little bit of a different roster, but kind of the same there. And O'Connell that was his first season.
Yeah.
That was Daniel Jones.
I think O'Connell is the difference maker here. And I know that was first year O'Connell. O'Connell now is
dicing him up.
Yeah, he's so good. Him and Flores, I've said it last show, they're the best coaching staff in the NFL. If you give me 2, who do I want calling my offense? It's O'Connell. Who do I want calling my defense? Right now, it's Brian Flores.
Yeah.
These are the 2 guys, and I think they're for real, man. I think he has some staying power. Yes, I think the Sam Darnold thing is a little concerning that he had no touchdowns, 1 interception. Did play a pretty damn good defense himself. But just the teams they beat this year. They beat the Jets, who I think are good. You hate them. They beat the Packers.
Do you hate them?
Okay. In Green Bay. Okay. They beat the Texans. They blew out the Texans 34-7.
Yep.
Texans, I don't know if you saw, beat the Bills today.
Yep.
So they're pretty good. Beat the Niners, and then Giants were sacrificed to them. But I believe in this team.
I believe in this team too.
Yeah, I think they'll be here at the end.
I think Terrell's gonna be surprised when they actually win a playoff game.
You got
freaking Terrell. Yeah, I got one. This is more. We're just talking about this Bills team. Ball don't lie. The Bills missed the presence of Stefon Diggs today, or an alpha wideout today. If you watch the game, they were given chances in the second half where the Texans could have sealed it but didn't, and they couldn't complete a drive. They couldn't score. I mean, on the day today, Josh Allen was only 9 for 31, and I know. Shakir wasn't playing, but I don't think he's that much of a difference maker to where it would swing the whole stat line or the whole, the way the game went. I really do think that they didn't miss it because on third down they were 3 for 14. They couldn't get a drive going in the second half. It was just like I said with the Jets, they needed a sure thing, and they couldn't find it when it mattered most because the Texans kept giving them opportunities, and they just couldn't do anything with it. That could be Josh Allen's maybe a little banged up. I think he was concussed. Did you see that thing where he got
knocked out cold?
Yeah, and then he got up and said, "Oh, I'm fine." Okay, he's definitely concussed.
Yeah.
That's just. I think they missed for the first time this season. They missed Stefon Diggs today.
9 for 30 was Josh Allen. Obviously, that's beyond bad.
That's not
9
great.
for 30 is really bad. 1 touchdown, no interceptions, only sacked once. But he wasn't the Superman that they need him to be if this is how you're construct your roster. Didn't run the ball that much, just 4 carries for him today. James Cook was good, not great. And the receiving core, no one had more than 2 catches. And so there was no dominant receiver today, which is how they've built their team. This is the hard part about building your team that way, is that your quarterback needs to be damn good.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be
every game.
Yeah, he needs to be able to distribute to these lesser weapons in a way that they can still be successful, set them up for yak, stuff like that. And today it just didn't happen for him. Neither quarterback really played that well. I think we learned a lot about this Texans defense. They looked pretty good.
Those defenses look pretty damn good too.
Yeah, I think they just made like one more play. It was a back and forth game the whole way.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of CJ Stroud at the end there. I thought he hung in, even though
I think
he turned the ball over a couple times.
He got punched in the mouth today, but I liked. This is more of a team win than it was a CJ Stroud win for sure.
Yeah,
because the Texans were able to kind of bow up and kind of even for their own confidence to say like, okay, when we needed to, we beat the Bills. I know it was at home, and we played sloppy and Stroud threw a pick. The pick was a Stefon Diggs. It was like a 10-yard in, but he went in when he should have sat like in the zone. That's what whatever. But yeah, a good team win for the Texans though. But back to Josh Allen, I think they did miss something like their sure thing passing wise, and they just didn't have it today.
Okay, I'm checking it. Oh, sorry, I guess I'm getting a ton of notifications about this Cowboys-Steelers game. Right now, Cowboys have the ball. 4th and goal on the 4, 26 seconds left, down by 4.
Chances they will do this.
Because they just fumbled the ball on 2nd down. So they had the ball on the 1-yard line and they fumbled it. Yeah. Dak recovered the ball, so now they have the ball just around the 10-yard line.
Rico Dowd doing his thing, just fumbling it up.
Holy cow! Well, we'll check. We'll keep it. Terrell, keep an eye on those.
Here we go. It's 4th down. This is timeout. Actually, timeout. All right, here we go.
Okay. Let's wrap up this point. Who are you talking about again? Sorry.
Talking about the Bills.
Talk about the Bills.
Yeah. So one thing I want to point out: Nico Collins went down. Once he went down, there's no real panic on this Texans because you have Tank Dell and Stefon Diggs, enough weapons there to maybe or to definitely still manufacture some offense. Yeah. And maybe that is like looking in a mirror, really exposing for the Bills because like you had no one to turn to.
Yeah. When Shakir was down, who's probably your best wide receiver.
Yeah.
Once he went down, he didn't play at all today. Hard to find a guy who can move the chains for them.
So do you think they're more likely to go get a receiver now?
I think so. They're probably going to try to do it one year with this kind of system, because they just saw. But like,
I don't think so.
People will say like, "Oh, the Chiefs didn't do it," but like I said, they have a sure thing with the Travis Kelce and Mahomes section. Like you need one sure thing, and they don't have a sure thing.
They had a strong running game as well. Yeah.
Yeah, like you got to have this thing to compete for Super Bowl.
They're gonna get someone because there's so many guys available. They're gonna get somebody, whether that's Amari Cooper, Cortland Sutton.
Cooper would be nice.
Davante Adams.
I think the Bills and Bengals would
T. Higgins.
Yeah, let's say they don't seem like they hate each other. I don't think.
Terrell, you let us know when it's back.
The Cowboys now took a timeout. So back-to-back timeouts from both teams.
They're sitting there
on that one.
Let me get this in real quick before they finish up here. Ball don't lie. Don't look now, but Caleb Williams is improving and improving fast. And the critics are silent.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams today, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They did play Carolina, but they did exactly what they're supposed to do. 136-10, coming off another win against the Rams where he threw 1 touchdown, no interception. After starting the season, throwing no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, what just happened?
Dak just threw the game, took the lead with the touchdown to Jalen Tolbert.
Wow.
Pittsburgh now falls to 3-2.
Is it over?
There are 29 seconds left in the game.
Oh, for Justin Fields, that's like 4 minutes.
It's over. It's over.
No.
Tis over.
God, you're
20 seconds left.
They can only throw the ball to Pickens. So they can do it all the way down the field.
Well, he's thrown 2 touchdowns, and neither of them have gone to Pickens today.
Oh, true, GG.
But yeah, Caleb Williams turn around fast. He's been much better taking care of the ball. Has done pretty good on the ground, and that's kind of 21 carries, 113 yards already so far on the ground, averaging 5 yards per carry. I think a different element of his game that not a lot of people thought he'd be breaking out, but I think he's savvy. I think he's learning fast. I think he's just fine. Next 5 games: Jaguars, Commanders, Cardinals, Patriots, Packers. I think there's some dubs in there. Although they are tied for last place in their division at 3-2, every team above 500.
Well, 3-2 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I would like to see. I mean, it's too early now, but like I think they could fight for a wild card. I think this is just having a rookie quarterback. You're just gonna have the ups and downs. I think they started with the downs, and now you're seeing them slowly improve. I don't care which team it is. You don't see some quarterbacks. You never see the improvement. He's showing improvement. If you watch the game, yeah, he has moments where he does Caleb Williams stuff, but he's being more calm. He's being much more calm now. I just like what I'm seeing. You're seeing improvement, which is what you want. Shane Waldron is calling better plays. I don't really love it. Still him as the OC, but he's.
Well, they basically went to his offense and said, "We're going to do the offense this way now. We're going to throw the ball down the field. We're going to run the ball." Terrell, rank the NFC North.
Ooh, this is a tough one. And the thing
God, he hates the Vikings.
The thing, well, no, I like the Vikings.
Oh, let's see.
Okay.
But the thing that sucks is someone from this division's not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
Right.
And I did not expect this division to have someone not make it. But if I'm going to rank them by end of season, I'm putting the Lions there at the top.
Okay.
And then Minnesota. Oh, this is tough. I'm going to give the Bears the edge over the Packers, but I think
so. That's like the projection season long ranking.
Season long, but right now as it stands, it's Minnesota, Detroit.
Oh, you know what?
I got Bears over the Packers. I mean, like the Packers, they low key.
They haven't looked great.
They kind of deserve to lose again today. They just happened to. The Rams just weren't healthy enough, so I got the Packers at the bottom of that division, but that division is still strong. It's going to be that sucks if one of those teams are not going to make the playoffs.
Do they have 4 teams better than the Commanders? Probably. Their last place team is better than our first place team.
I don't know.
Commanders and Packers.
I mean, we'll find out in 2 weeks. That Commanders Bears games is going to be the 1 versus 2 game is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Ainge, you got one more?
Yeah. Bottom line, and you're going to hate this. Bottom line, Patrick Surtain is the best defensive player in the league. Listen. Look at the stats. Look at what he's done to elite players. Terrell mentioned it earlier against DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Mike Evans, and Garrett Wilson. 11 targets, 7 catches, 77 yards, no touchdowns. He has more pick yards than he has yards allowed. He has more touchdowns scored than touchdowns allowed. And today, the Raiders didn't have a wideout that was worthy enough for him. So they put on Bowers. For the 2 targets that Surtain was covering Bowers, that's 2 picks. One was a 100-yard pick 6.
He guarded Bowers?
Yeah, because
that ain't right, man.
Because there was nobody else.
That ain't right.
It's just there's not one player in my mind who does more for their defense than Patrick Surtain does for the Denver Broncos defense. Take away Surtain from his defense, I don't think they're the same at all. Right now, they're top 3 in points points allowed, points per game, yards per play, third down, red zone scoring. They're just elite. I'm not saying he's the whole thing, but he is the crown jewel of that defense where he's literally taking away their best option. So defenses it's always easier to call plays if their best option at wideout is just gone, erased. And that's what he does. He's been doing it all year. And I know you're going to say TJ Watt, and it's no disrespect to TJ Watt. Surtain's doing things that you're going to hate this, but that one Revis year where Revis shut down all those guys is very similar to that, where he's just exiting out wideouts.
What are the wideouts that he's faced so far?
Metcalf, DK Metcalf.
Not top 5.
Mike Evans.
Not top 5.
George Pickens.
Not top 5.
Garrett
not top
Wilson.
10.
Garrett Wilson.
Not top 10.
God.
Stop it. What? Revis Island.
I said I'm not saying it's better than I'm saying
it's nothing like it. Revis was locking down the best players to ever play the game.
Okay,
Megatron.
Who are the top 5 receivers in the NFL?
You got to think Jay Jettas, Tyreek. Well, not with this quarterback, but so Jay Jettas, AJ Brown, maybe if he's healthy.
Okay.
Who else would be out there, Ange?
Yeah, Amon-Ra?
Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I'm also
Okay.
for sure.
Jamar Chase?
Right now, Jamar Chase, yeah.
All right, let's just
All right,
run
you
through.
can put Tyreek Hill in there.
Yeah, with that quarterback though, you can't. It's not a fair fight.
He's still top 5.
Okay,
he's
so
not playing. He's only playing against Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but if they play, I'm saying if they play each other right now, you wouldn't get like a fair who's better because Snoop Huntley
All right.
is throwing the ball.
We're gonna go through their schedule and name their top wideout and see if he can shut them down. Okay. Okay. Chargers next week. Yes.
God, yes.
I'm just this. They play whoever they play. The Saints. So Olave.
Yeah.
The Panthers.
Yeah.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
The Chiefs. We don't really know yet. But so as of right now, I guess.
I tell you right now, he would struggle against Rashee Rice if he was healthy. Who else? He would.
The Falcons.
Yeah, he ain't touching Drake London.
Stop. Okay, sorry. The Raiders again. We already know the answer to that one.
Drake London's too big for him. We put him in his pocket.
The Raiders, and then they have the Browns. So Amari Cooper, if he stays there.
God, they're not. I think going to face a top 5 guy.
Listen, that's not his fault. So,
I know it's not his fault, but it's definitely you definitely need to weigh it into the conversation.
I think he'll end. He plays Jamar because he plays the Colts after that. So Pittman, the Chargers again. So Ladd / whoever. Cincinnati week 16.
Listen,
and then
it's hard to have this kind of conversation because the tendency is to try to put one player down in hopes of rising another player.
I'm not doing that.
Surtain's great. He's not what Revis was that year, and it's unfair for you to even make that comparison right now when he's locking down guys like George Pickens. Like that's not the same. Like things that are different are not the same. Okay, George Pickens is not Calvin Johnson.
I never compared that. I said
you compared him to the guys that Revis was facing.
I literally said,
and those are the guys Revis was facing.
I said
it's similar to what he did.
No, he faced them every week, Terrell.
I did not say. I said it was similar to what had happened, and I literally said it's not. I said it's not the same. But by the end of the season, he's with this schedule, he's gonna have incredible numbers. And okay, he's the best player.
He's not facing anyone.
Oh,
what are we supposed to do about that?
What you're supposed to do about that is not compare him to someone who faced everyone and did the same thing.
I am not. This is not an argument. Me versus Surtain versus Rio. I'm not doing that. I'm saying he's defensive. He's the best defensive player in football right now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not comparing him to Revis at all.
As far as that point, like what exactly makes him better than TJ Watt?
I think that the argument he's making is that like Revis, you go ahead and put your number 1 wide receiver out there. Just go ahead and put it in the bank. He's not going to have a good game. Your number 1's not going to have a good game.
Doing it at an elite level that we rarely see, where he just.
But this happens why he's every year. There's always a guy like this.
Like this.
Jalen Johnson was this way. Like there's always a guy shutting down everyone who comes to town. Like it's very good. It's very impressive.
I don't know.
But to crown this guy, he's the best guy in the league. There's no one who means more to his team. Come on.
Who's better?
TJ Watt.
Take
TJ Watt off the Steelers.
Defensive backs. Who's better?
Oh, okay, well that's different. If that's the conversation we're having,
I think he's playing.
He said best defensive player in the league.
I think he's well enough to go toe-to-toe with TJ. Absolutely, he's putting up crazy numbers.
He's up there,
or lack of numbers. Because with cornerbacks, the less numbers, it's hard to stat them because cornerback numbers are so crazy. Because
I just think a dominant defensive end is going to impact the game way more than a really good cornerback.
I don't even know. You can't even name the Denver defensive starters because that's just how. Like I think he's helping that unit so much in ways that like
okay.
I think take TJ Watt away, the defense is still decent. Take Surtain away from the Broncos, it's not. I think you're not giving him enough credit, which is not fair.
I'm giving him credit. He's a great player and he means a lot to his team. But so throw him in the other category with Myles Garrett and those guys.
I think he's more impactful right now. He's one of the better players. He's not the best defensive player in like the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, if that's who you want, go ahead. Give me TJ Watt.
Terrell, go ahead.
Could just merely by position. Because if you're playing cornerback and you're the best defensive player, you better have turnovers through the roof, and you better have more than just I'm shutting down other receivers.
Well,
because you need to impact the game more, and that's why it's better for a defensive end because you can impact every single play.
He's impacting the game. He had two picks today.
Today, but that's not like how many picks do you have in the season? Probably 2.
Yeah, so you're saying
it's not like he's doing that every week.
But that's not his thing. He doesn't always pick the ball off. That's not how he is. But
and that's not a sign of a good cornerback. There's plenty of bad cornerbacks who pick the ball off a lot. That's not what I'm saying.
But a sign of a good cornerback is, and part of it too is the scheme too as well, is the cornerbacks that are opposite of him. And Riley Moss is playing really well right now. Yeah. So I mean, if now he's got a guy who he can learn under, even though Surtain's hasn't been in the league crazy amount of time. He's got a guy he can learn under who can play like. Now you got 2 shutdown corners on your team.
Wait, I'm not saying
that. Riley is not that. He is not that. But with Surtain,
I'm not doing the show with you guys anymore.
But I'm saying if you have, just like you have a TJ Watt who can make the guys around him better.
Yeah, and he has.
Yeah, he make the guys around him better. Same thing with Surtain. Now, if you got a guy who can make the other players around him better, that's why they're comparable as far as impact on their team.
I just think he's playing at such a level that's like we rarely see this kind of stuff. And that defense, that he's keeping, we're winning games that we should not be winning.
He hasn't played anyone yet.
He's making the.
I know that's all he can do is play the guys on his schedule. I'm not faulting him for that.
Okay, but those guys have had good. Those guys have had the next game ball out.
Yeah, like DK Metcalf has had a good year. Mike Evans has a good year again. Garrett Wilson just.
I'm saying it's not a special thing to shut down a DK Metcalf. That happens very often.
Okay, at this point, no, I don't know. I know who you would take: TJ Watt or Patrick Surtain.
Yes, because merely by position.
Cornerback is a very important position.
I'm not saying it's not. Like that's what you're struggling with, but it's not more important than defensive end. Because you help everyone.
That's not true because the Broncos are already top 3 without any markable defensive ends, and they're still top 3 defense.
Okay, I'm talking about a single player, a single dominant player.
Oh,
a single dominant pass rusher helps way more than a cornerback. That's not saying the cornerback doesn't help some of his team.
But you're saying that, and the Surtain's literally the single most dominant player on his defense, and they're top 3 in every major defensive stat. That's why it doesn't make sense. See what I'm saying? Like
why?
You're saying it like. Well, it makes.
Why can't it be that those other players are good as well? Like,
but I think if you have a solid defensive back, it allows you to make those guys.
Yes.
Those guys can get to the ball. You can rush 4 and still get to the quarterback because you got to lock down. You guys got locking it down.
No, because you need several players locking it down. If it's only Surtain, it's not good enough. That's why I'm saying it's not as impactful a position. Because if you could rush 4, right, and take 3 or 4 seconds to get back there. But if only Surtain's playing defense really well, then like it doesn't mean anything. You need a good secondary. The truth is they have a good secondary. That's just the truth, and that's just the truth of football. But if you have a one pass rusher who can wreck every single play, pass or run, who can slow down the clock, who can make the quarterback make throws, give opportunities to the cornerbacks to make plays. Like it's just by position alone. Not to mention, he's just more productive as far as like turnovers and hurries and like things that actually affect every single play. Give me TJ.
To your point, by position, yes, pass rusher is going to be can have more impact. But between these two players,
sometimes stats don't fall.
I would still give the edge slightly to TJ Watt, but it's close. They're in the same bracket of impact on their team.
Yeah, sometimes a cornerback has bad stats because they don't hit his way, so he'll have no tackles. Like that does not stats.
I
are
agree
hard.
with you. Well, I don't know if that. I agree with you.
Okay, but you're saying I think you're underestimating the impact Surtain has on his team. You're saying it's not the same value as TJ Watt's impact, right?
Yeah,
that's just not true. Because we're seeing it now. Like Surtain's so good that the rest of the defense is playing up to his. It's just that.
See, that doesn't make sense though. Like that, like football talk schematically wise, it doesn't make sense to say he's playing so good that the whole defense is playing as good as him because he's playing really good. So they're getting inspired. Like what does that even mean?
They're playing good, and he's the best player on the defense who's playing. And he's put up. Okay, his numbers are great. His defense is playing great.
Okay.
And like I don't know what. So individually he's great. As a unit, he's great, but he's not as good as the other guy who's doing the same thing.
No, what I need you to explain to me, because what you're not explaining is how is his play impacting the rest of his team more than TJ Watt's play impacting?
Because he's shutting down the other team's best wideout.
Okay, so how is that helping his pass rush? In the same way that TJ Watt's helping
everyone. Because you can't throw to your best player, so you have to hold the ball longer. That's how it helps.
But you understand there's other, like, that's so easy to game plan around. Okay, well, we're obviously going to throw to other guys.
Apparently not.
Well, I'm saying, like, you can pick on other guys.
I don't know.
But if you have a dominant pass rusher wrecking every play, like, what are you going to do? It helps your cornerbacks, helps your safety, helps your linebackers. Like, it's across the way more impactful.
We'll let the people decide, but as of right now, he's the best player in football in my eyes.
He's the best player in football. Jesus.
Best defensive player in football. Chill. Best defensive player in football.
Is he even the best cornerback in the NFL?
Yeah.
But
he's easily the best. He is the best cornerback. There's not one that's better than him.
There's not one. If you think there's one, then you haven't watched Surtain play football.
Yeah.
And I get that because it's the Broncos, but
I will say this defense is special. They're definitely carrying the offense right now. And based on these next few games coming up here, you got the Chargers, the Panthers, and the Saints. This team could be 6-2 or 5-3.
it's the weirdest thing to gauge because, like,
Yeah.
defensively, you're like, I believe this. Now, offensively, you're like, I don't know if I believe it.
I need him to shut down someone better than. I keep saying George Pickens because I think it's the best name I heard on that list, but it's just like
Metcalf, Mike Evans, Garrett.
I need him to shut down someone more than that, and I need that. And we're not going to get it. That's the hard part of this. Like I don't want to hear this in 3 weeks when he just shut down Deontay Johnson and whoever Lad McConkey, and like I don't want I don't know. I need to see him play better people, and then be a lot more productive.
But he's shutting down some of the top receivers. Those are the top receivers in the league.
Who?
DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Garrett Wilson's. He's the big weapon in the Jets. He's their big weapon.
Metcalf is having a good.
In the same show you were saying.
No,
I said he's not a true argument. I said he's not a true number one receiver.
He's the talent. He's very talented.
He's the best they have. But I literally said he is not a true number one receiver on a championship team.
DK's having a good year, so don't act like that's
DK is DK. Yeah, he's a top 20 receiver. He's a great guy.
These are 1,000-yard receivers that he's shutting down. Mike Evans, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, George Pickens. These are 1,000-yard receivers.
Right, but
they're not scrubs.
Because the reason I brought that up because you invoked the name of Darrelle Revis. Like that's next level cornerback play.
I didn't say it's
and Darrelle Revis wasn't shutting down the B team of receivers around the league.
No one's arguing.
He also did it for several years.
But he wasn't going up against the top 5 receivers every week. He might just like Surtain, he's gonna play a top 5 receiver twice a year. He's gonna play the top 5 one of the top 5 guys in the NFL.
But I'm not comparing those. I'm saying it's similar, but that Revis here is special. I'm saying it's similar. It's not the same. It's similar.
Dang, y'all in some Kool-Aid.
I mean, look at that the AFC East when Revis was there. I mean, who was there? Who was the number one receiver? I think Randy Moss might have been there 1 or 2 seasons in New England.
I'd have to go. I don't.
The Dolphins. Who was their number one that was scary? Right, the Bills were garbage.
What are you arguing that he didn't shut down elite receivers?
No, he did
more often than.
But he's not saying.
He's not, but you're saying that he didn't. He had to go up against the number one receivers in the NFL
every week,
every single week. He didn't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. Surtain hasn't so far.
He's played against 4,000-yard receivers.
Okay, but 4 receivers who
had 1,000 yards.
Who you wouldn't be surprised if L'Jarius Sneed did what Surtain did in the last couple of weeks, or if Jalen Johnson did that. Like this isn't that great of a feat to shut down that group.
But they haven't done it. None of them have done it.
Jalen Johnson, go look at his stats from last year. Like he shut down everyone. L'Jarius Sneed, go look at his stats. Like he shut down. Like it just isn't that special to shut down that group. Like he's good and all that, but if that's what you're claiming. Also, Revis did it for years.
Man, okay, I'm not saying that.
So he faced everyone.
Okay, I'm saying by the end of the year, if he has the same amount of numbers where he shuts down the number one wideout, and you're still like this, I'm like I guess what's in the playoffs? That's the only way to. If we win the playoffs, that'd be crazy.
Well, we're having 2 arguments here. One of them is the one I care most about is that is he more important to his team than T.J. Watt? And I'll go down. I will plant my flag on that. Not a chance. There isn't a single player since Aaron Donald retired that can touch T.J. Watt.
I would give you that.
I'm not saying important. I'm saying they're both A++ players. So right now it leans Surtain.
You said earlier.
What did I say?
He's the best corner in the league.
He's the best corner. He is.
You said no. You said specifically he's more impactful than even T.J. Watt.
Yeah, you know what? Numbers don't lie. So yes, he's very impactful. That's the top 3 defensive unit. Passing
more impactful than T.J. Watt.
I don't know how else how else you want.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's comparable to make the argument to say is Josh Allen better than Patrick Mahomes. I think they're in the same. That's the same type of.
Yeah, they're definitely in the same club of players for sure.
And if you say Mahomes is he's still the best. All right, I can't really knock you on that. T.J. Watt is still. I would say T.J. Watt is at the top. Best defensive player.
I don't think people understand how good T.J. Watt is. I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, he's the best.
I think he is than everyone else.
I think T.J. Watt's the best defensive player in the league. But at corner, it's Surtain.
Yeah.
It's not close.
I agree with that.
We'll find out at the end of the year. I swear, if Surtain misses another All-Pro after this, I don't know what he has to do. Last year, he missed it too. He had a good year last year, and Deron Bland made it. And now,
do you have any more? Just my last one here.
Oh no, that was my last one.
All right, last one here. You're gonna like this one. Oh, you got one, Tro? You go, Tro.
Yeah. Bottom line, Antonio Pierce is everyone's uncle in the stands who thinks he knows more than your high school football coach.
That's very true.
I mean,
This is such a Broncos day.
Let's go, Bronco Nation!
You're just watching. I'm watching this guy, and he's just mad all the time, and he's not really coaching.
That's leadership, Tro.
Do you like your job, bro? Why'd you get hired here?
I mean, this is the second time this season they've switched quarterbacks in the middle of the game. Like, pick a guy you're gonna go to. You're gonna go to O'Connell. Okay, play him. Minshew. Okay, play it all the way out.
Yeah.
It just seems like they don't know what they're doing. Obviously, you saw the social media thing, liking the post about Davante Adams this week.
Right.
He's giving me Josh McDaniels vibes. Like you're kind of in over your head.
Yeah, I mean the defense. Yeah. He's the defensive guy, and the defense is mediocre. They're 20th in the NFL. The offense is hot garbage.
Look, you want to trade Davante Adams? We saw today. What are you good at then? What's your identity offensively? Like, and you want to be good now, or are you in a rebuild? Because you're kind of doing it halfway. Because you signed Christian Wilkins, and but then you're like, it doesn't make any sense. You didn't sign Josh Jacobs because for whatever reason, and now I'm betting you wish that you had a Josh Jacobs. At least you can lean on that. I'm so done with Antonio Pierce. He's just not a good coach.
I want to look at some of their offseason moves. Okay, obviously this is a Antonio Pierce, if not led, heavily influenced roster.
Yeah.
Okay, like he had his hands all over this thing. They went and got Christian Wilkins. I think we're all good with that.
Yeah. Fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I think at quarterback is where they make it the biggest mistake. They didn't. I would have moved if Jayden Daniels is your guy, and they said that he was. I believe that they wanted this guy.
That was all over the news. Yeah.
Then go do whatever you need to go and get him. Move whoever you need to.
Because if that would have happened, and Jayden Daniels was doing this on the Raiders, no one would care what you gave up to get Jayden Daniels.
But no, you try to be, like Terrell said, the smartest guy in the room. Well, we'll bring a couple of guys who fit the culture.
Yeah.
Guys who you know.
I mean, apparently not.
But they're gonna get behind me because I'm Antonio Pierce and I'm a great motivator of men. Gardner Minshew, and let's bring back Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
And like that's the downfall of their offseason so far. Not to mention Alexander Madison, bringing him in for Josh Jacobs, running it back with Zamir White, doubling down that all offseason long. Yeah, he's a tough runner. Yeah, he really fits the culture of this team. But bullshit.
Actually, you know what? He's kind of right because they all suck. So the culture is they suck. So I think he is right. They all suck.
I'm with this man. I think this man needs to lose his job. He's not a head coach. What's up?
Jacoby Myers should get traded. Sorry. That's good. Wow, that's been wasted. Never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Side
no, I'm with you, Terrell. I think it's a great point. I think people need to be a little harder on Antonio Pierce. I think people just like him because he's the next player. You know what? I think just with me, he's an ex-Giant, so I don't give two craps about the guy.
It's just I don't see direction in that organization.
Whole organization. Like, what are you guys doing? You drafted a tight end at number 9?
Like after you got a tight end the year before.
Who, by the way, has
back-to-back top 15 tight ends.
By the way, Michael Mayer last year, their second-round tight end, who's been inactive for 2 games due to personal reasons after the business, whatever moves that he made.
They're a mess.
Like, you're a mess, and I don't think you know how to manage a team. That's what's happening right now.
Well, it's a cycle with them now. What's his name? Davis? What's
Al Davis?
Al Davis. Mark Davis is just he doesn't know how to hire personnel. He's hiring these big name
or these cool guys
or these guys who could win him over in a room, and he doesn't know how to hire a football coach who can actually manage his team. He obviously can't hire a GM. That's been a disaster. And I think it's just gonna keep going this way as long as he's making football decisions.
Yeah,
they need a football president.
What I don't want is next year they'll be a top 3 team and they get a Carson Beck, Shadir Sanders.
They will. Oh, they're gonna ruin a quarterback for sure.
Yeah, because they're gonna bring him in without Davante Adams and with I don't know if they keep Myers, and it's like, all right. Yeah. Fix this whole problem because
and they're going to bring in Joey Porter to be the quarterback's coach.
Yeah, they're going to bring in
Mark Davis was flirting with Shadir Sanders over the weekend too.
Look, Shadir Sanders has to be in the right environment. That's not the right environment,
and
there's no way Deion's going to let that happen.
I don't think so.
Can't do
that.
With
Jacoby Myers is number 1,
no,
and Brock is number 2,
and unless they draft a running back next year, no running game because running back I don't know.
Antonio Pierce is a great interim head coach.
Yeah.
He was fine to
You're
just to
one
bring
of the
him
best.
in. Great substitute teacher, great stepdad. But he is definitely he's not head coach.
Probably hell of a weight room coach type of guy.
Hall of Fame weight room guy for sure.
The problem with him is that he doesn't belong in an offensive or defensive coordinator room.
Yeah, he isn't.
Like, there's no special skill set he has, like, schematically.
Yeah, Sean Payton kicked his ass today with a quarterback who can't throw past a check down.
Easy.
No,
People
but
are really mad at you.
No, but I'm saying though is like we've seen bad teams go in there and beat the Raiders because they have fight because they beat the Ravens, but like long term this thing where like you have to impress this one guy or if not like that's it. Like there's no kind of like leadership or whatever. It just seems like if you're not on, it's like my way or the highway. Antonio Pierce, it's not
just
working
like
out.
when they lose bad.
Yeah.
Like the Chargers ran all over them. The Panthers, that's their only win of the season, and the Panthers just beat the brakes off of them. Broncos did the same thing. Somehow they beat the Ravens.
Yeah, this seems so weird. I don't know if they'll hire a new head coach. They might. I could see him totally going next year.
Yeah, what if this guy makes it through the season?
I think so.
He probably does,
I think
but-
he finishes the season. I think they hired the wrong interim head coach though. They should have kept Bisaccia a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They probably still would have Derek Carr there instead of and then McDaniels wouldn't have been in there.
They'll probably kick the tires on Josh McDaniels again. Why not? Or Hackett. Why not? They all fucking suck.
Can't you see Cliff Kingsbury going there next?
Cool guy Cliff? No, he's doing good things in Washington. Don't ever leave there.
All right, last one. Speaking of Washington, ball don't lie. So far, Jayden Daniels is the offensive rookie of the year and the MVP. So far,
I have to think about it.
Jayden Daniels is the most important player to his team in the NFL.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Because you look at the distance traveled here, okay? You have quarterbacks who have their teams leading their division on top of their conference, one of the best, teams in the NFL, and they brought their team from a similar stage of where they ended up last year. You have Jayden Daniels, who is bringing a team that lost 13 games last year, including the final 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
Like, the worst team in the NFL, like, an absolute trash. Like, I can't explain how bad. I don't have the words to explain how bad the Commanders were last year. Okay, lost the last 8. They lost by 3 touchdowns at least 6 times last year.
That's a pretty good stat.
They lost by at least 3 touchdowns 6 times last year, went 0-6 against the NFC East. They were just not a team that you would think, oh, yeah, they got a shot at 4-1 this year. And yet, a lot of things changed in the offseason. I'll give them that. But the one that matters the most and the one that is the reason they're winning games is Jayden Daniels. And I think just for someone to bring their team from that to this, where they're beating just the brakes off teams, Jayden Daniels has to be the MVP so far. And his numbers on the year, 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Obviously, that doesn't light the world on fire, but just what he does in the running game and just what he's meant. You saw this with Tom Brady when he went to the Bucs. Not calling him Tom Brady, but there are certain people who are more than a player, more than a position. They're just people who were there. When they're in the building, when they're in the organization, everyone is better, and it's hard to even quantify why.
Yeah.
But just everything is better. Everything's done at a higher level. The people expect to win, and that's just to do that on the Commanders. Like, I don't even know how to explain how bad the Commanders have been the last couple of years.
Yeah, they've been bad.
Been so bad, and to be the guy to turn around that franchise and be the obvious reason why, dragging around a defense that's probably I don't even need to look. They're probably bottom 3 in the league. Like the Commanders' defense is awful, right? You don't have just a plethora of weapons around. You're not Caleb Williams. You have Terry McLaurin, a bunch of B to C receivers, and a bunch of B to C running backs, and a B to C line. Like what is propping him up? Absolutely nothing. He's propping the entire organization up. Terrell.
He's definitely been balling out this year. Just to put him at MVP of the league,
Oh, yeah.
I think we got to slow down on MVP of the league. Because look, I mean they're playing great right now. They're winning the games that they should be, but also their opponents have a combined 6 wins against the teams they've played. So the Browns are garbage. The Cardinals are okay. And then in the Giants, we know what the Giants are, and then the Bengals have 1 win this season too as well. So we'll see how they have a really big test against Baltimore. That's going to be that's going to be the game to see, like, okay, maybe we can make an argument for him to be MVP, but I don't know. I mean, you still got guys like a CJ Stroud who can make a run at MVP.
That's interesting.
Lamar, he might have a run at back-to-back. I don't know. We'll see. He balled out today.
He did today.
Lamar balled out today. So I don't know. I was slowed on MVP, but definitely
I'm talking about a quarter way through the season.
I mean, that offense is number 2 in points per game and number 4 in yards per game. They're almost averaging 400 yards per game.
Do we need to name the skill position players on this team?
I know it's scary Terry for sure.
It's Scary Terry, De'Ami Brown, who hasn't even seen the fucking field.
Chris McCaffrey's younger brother.
Luke McCaffrey.
Was Zacchaeus still on the team?
Olamide Zacchaeus. That's their 4.
And Zach Ertz.
And Zach Ertz, the ghost of Zach Ertz.
You know who's underrated is Brian Robinson. He's the only guy I'm like,
Brian Robinson is underrated.
Yeah. But then Austin Eckler.
But still, Brian Robinson is at best an A- running back, more likely like a B+ type guy.
Yeah, it's
Austin
crazy.
Eckler's old as hell. Has already been concussed this year.
I mean, they're literally second and third down, third in yards in yards per play.
And did you get the stats on the defense? We didn't talk about the defense yet.
Defense is 20th, 14th, 20th, 26th, 23rd, 25th. They're just bad. They're not great.
See, I don't know. I think that because the defense is ass, I
Props
think
up his stats a little bit.
Yeah, I think
He doesn't have huge stats, though. All he has is wins.
I think that'll catch up to him.
We'll see. As of right now, that he's very impressed. It's hard to. He's winning, and the offense looks good. He's an impressive cat.
I don't know. Through a quarter way of the season, I don't know another player that I would think he's more valuable to his team.
The only guy,
other than Pat Surtain, obviously.
No, the only quarterback who would be like
who?
It was Sam Darnold is playing pretty well, but like it's different because like Sam Darnold has his weapons, and he does not. So it's different. It's apples and oranges, but he's playing very good, and we'll see. I don't think has a rookie ever won MVP. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
They probably don't allow that.
There's just no one doing more with less in the entire league.
Like Scary Terry is legitimate.
There's just nothing there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. He's top 3 in every major offensive stat.
I will say we were pretty down on these rookie quarterbacks early in the season, and right now through 5 weeks they have 10 wins between the 3 of them: Nix, Williams, and Jayden Daniels. That's the second most in NFL history.
Nix played well today. Everyone played well. Caleb Williams played well today.
It was a crazy week.
I think it's time for Drake May to join the party.
Oh, I think so too.
That line is so bad. Don't do it to him.
He's gonna get his ass kicked.
That Patriots.
Jacoby Brissett is peeling himself off the ground every play.
Like they played the Dolphins today, who just lost Jaden Phillips, and they were getting harassed all game. That was a good game too. They had a chance to win, but they couldn't.
It wasn't a good game. It was a close game.
It's good football if you like defensive shootouts, slugouts.
Not every low-scoring game is a defensive slugget. A lot of times, just bad offense.
That was a good show. I don't think I'm saying that, but I enjoyed watching it. Either way, like Drake May, I at this point just wait the whole year. Like you already come this far.
Yeah, but to Terrell's point, like this is why we said, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I don't know if we said either. Fuck that. I said, wait.
I think we're impatient.
Everyone was throwing Caleb Williams out there, like, oh, he sucks.
No,
He's
we
overrated.
weren't.
He's not the guy. Just wait.
Yeah, we
just
weren't doing
wait a fucking second.
I think we were a little bit out on Anthony Richardson, not these rookie quarterbacks. So I think but obviously Bo Nix is a whole different monster we haven't tackled yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, these rookie quarterbacks are getting into form.
I mean, even Bo's getting into form.
Bo had 2 touchdowns
Should
today.
have had 3.
I wish he would stop checking down. That'd be sweet.
That's a little play calling.
Yeah, that's his offense.
They baby. That's probably why he's yelling. I'm like, stop not making me, but like sending him up to where like we're getting Burton in the flat.
All right. Anything else you guys want to bring about this week?
Niners, they lost. They couldn't close out. They need Christian McCaffrey more than they know. They're a good team.
Niners and Rams are in trouble.
Yeah, they are. It's because Anthony's good. And teams like the Commanders are making it difficult for them to.
Cardinals going to win that division?
No.
Seahawks disappointed me.
They lost.
They're playing.
They lost to the
Niners
Giants.
This week is Niners Seahawks on Thursday night. That's a big game.
I don't know. I think the Cardinals are the best team in this. The Seahawks lost to the Giants. It's going to take me a while to forgive them for that.
Yeah, they let down. Without Malik Neighbors. Their best play they've had since OBJ. God. That NFC East or West isn't looking too great because they're so hurt.
I think that's all I have. Anything on the Stroud Allen matchup? I think it's just a really good game.
That was good. You know,
Looking forward to see the NFC playoffs.
that's a playoff game.
Yeah.
Like, you could see, like, they played so well, and obviously you take out Shakir from the Bills, looks different. You don't know what they're going to do at the deadline. You take out Nico Collins in the first quarter, second quarter. It's a different game, so you don't know.
I hope the playoff game is not like that one, because that is reminiscent of when Josh Allen and went up against Deshaun Watson in the playoffs when they're both first time. It was who's just going to lose this game.
Right.
Did you see?
Right.
Did you see the Deshaun Watson clip? It's so bad. When Kevin Stefanski wanted to go for a fourth down, and Watson just walked up the field, and Stefanski, it's shown. He's looking at him like he puts his head like what, and Watson just walks up the field.
I mean, yeah, that we could talk about that to finish the show. Deshaun, when are they going to bench the guy?
They-
Because right after the game, he says, no, he's still our quarterback.
Because
They can't do it. David Adams sat in that chair and predicted this coming in. That
People
even
like-
when he sucks, they're going to have to pretend that it's going fine because they cannot bench him. There's too much money.
and people killed us and David Adams for saying that, and now look at it.
Oh, he's 5-1 as a starter.
Listen, he's a good player because they win. They're not fucking winning now. That they suck. Their offensive line is bad. That's not his fault, but it's bad. That team's too talented to be this bad. If fans are saying put Jameis Winston in over you, you suck. That's point blank.
He's last or near last in every defensive metric, and I don't have that in front of me, but I don't need to because he started the season like that. He's played the same way the entire stay in Cleveland, and now they're not winning games because the defense isn't as dominant as it's been in the last couple of years. He's not being propped up by all this team around him. That team was really good. That team made the playoffs without Deshaun Watson, and they're okay despite Deshaun Watson. I mean, look at the year where Jacoby Brissett had this team like as a playoff team. Deshaun Watson took over. It's been downhill since then.
And then Flacco. Look, like Flacco's tearing up this year.
Right.
You guys had Flacco. Why don't you just keep Flacco? And then it came out that the Browns never even offered him.
Right, because probably Deshaun Watson don't want him around. I don't know. Are you done with Deshaun Watson including?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, he's terrible. He's awful. The Browns need to swallow their pride like the Broncos did. Just eat the contract. I mean, maybe you don't have Walmart money to where you can't do that, but just do it. Eat the contract and start over.
You know what's crazy?
You don't get it.
If they're bad and they draft a quarterback, can you have a $75 million backup quarterback? That might happen next year if they draft a quarterback. You don't
keep him. You got to get rid of him. Get rid of the guy.
Some of it because we got to mention these stats because if I don't, I hear people in the chat room. You're not doing any research. Okay. He is fifth in attempts. All right, that's not a good stat to be high on. That's not a bad one either. But please don't claim that as like, see, he's fifth in attempts. He is 24th in passing yards. So despite being fifth in attempts, he's 24 in passing yards. 18th in passing touchdowns, just 4 in the season. 11th in interceptions, that's 3. Has a 20.7 QBR.
That's
20.7.
Is that out of like 160 something or
31st in the league.
31st? That's
31st.
If
I'm guessing Bryce Young or Will Levis is the one behind him.
If you guys are wondering who has higher, I promise you, Daniel Jones has a higher QBR than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I mean, and the last one is overall. I think it's a PPR grading of 69.6, which is also really, really bad.
Yeah, he's bad.
Just across the board, he's bad, and they can't bench him, and you're fucked. I'm sorry, Browns fans, but you're wasting a damn good roster that's never going to win a championship as long as you have Deshaun Watson there. And honestly, you better get moving on first because it takes a while to go and find a quarterback.
Yep.
The longer you push this down the road, the longer you're going to suck.
Yeah, it sucks that. Yeah, go watch that clip. Go watch the clip where
I'm gonna repost that shit.
where Watson is walking up the field and Stefanski's just like,
His teammates hate him too.
Yeah,
His teammates hate him.
because I'm sure because the owner, his investment, he's treated differently.
Yeah,
Because he is the franchise, but he's not playing. He's like the worst player on the team. That's not included. Their back quarterback. Then you want Nick Chubb to come back and risk his career for this guy? Fuck that, dude. Like, this sucks. This sucks for Browns fans. They were so close to being relevant. Now you're back to being Browns.
look at all his stats. He's so bad.
Yeah, Browns fans, where you at now, dude? God.
Yeah. Anything else on Deshaun Watson other than that he just really sucks?
No.
All right, guys, that's our show for today. Thanks so much for joining us for episode 166.
Woo!
Enjoy Monday Night Football. Join us again on Wednesday. Brand new Top 10, Angels Heavenly Top 10, version number 6.
Crazy.
Should be interesting.
It's going to be hard to make.
If you're looking for a Monday Night preview, you can find that on the channel as well. We'll see you Wednesday. Bye.
Peace.